everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into autonomous vehicles and AI today, and things are moving fast.
Yeah, definitely fast.
So today, let's break down Tesla's latest moves and what they could mean for the future of how we get around.
It's wild to think we're not just talking about self-driving cars anymore. This is a whole new concept of transportation, potentially changing, well, everything.
Yep.
I mean, from car ownership to even how our cities are designed.
Okay, so much to unpack there, but let's start with Tesla's big idea, robo-taxis. But they're not just aiming for any self-driving car, right? What makes these robo-taxis different?
Imagine this. You're not hailing a ride. You're sending out your own car to make money for you while you're not using it. Yeah, these robo-taxis are designed for continuous operation. No steering wheel, no pedals, just pure AI-powered efficiency.
So it's like your car has a side hustle as a ride-sharing superstar.
Exactly.
That's wild. Okay, but how does Tesla plan on making this whole robotaxi thing accessible to everyday people?
Well, they're aiming for a price point under $30,000 for these robo-taxis. One way they're hoping to achieve this is through innovations in battery technology. Cheaper, more efficient batteries would be a game changer, not just for cost, but also for the driving range and lifespan of these vehicles.
It's interesting you mentioned cheaper batteries because I read that Tesla is also simplifying the overall design of their vehicles, relying less on complicated parts and manual labor.
Yes, that's right. It's key to their strategy. They're streamlining manufacturing and using more automation in the production process. So that's how they can potentially drive down costs significantly. It's like the automotive version of less is more.
Makes sense. Now I got to ask about this robo-van. When I first saw that headline, I thought it was a joke, not gonna lie.
It does sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, right?
Yeah.
But during Tesla's recent We Robot event, Elon Musk actually hinted at this concept. He mentioned a vehicle inspired by Art Deco designs, almost like a futuristic version of those classic vans.
Okay, but putting those retro-futuristic vibes aside, how would a robo-van even work practically?
Think about like public transportation, airport shuttles, even large families or groups who need to travel together. A robo-van could offer a more efficient and flexible alternative to traditional vans or buses.
So it's not just about individual car ownership, it's about reimagining the whole transportation landscape.
Exactly. And the key to all of this, from robo-taxis to robo-vans, is the AI. The AI makes it all possible. We're talking sophisticated algorithms that can process massive amounts of data in real time.
And this is where things get really interesting for me, right? We throw around the term AI so casually, but when we're talking about vehicles driving themselves, what kind of AI are we even talking about?
Right, it's not just one type of AI, it's a whole bunch of algorithms working together. For example, convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, are used to process visual information. Think of it like the car's eyes, allowing it to see and interpret its surroundings.
So the car is essentially seeing the road, pedestrians, other cars, all thanks to these CNNs.
Yes. And it's not just seeing, it's also predicting. The AI is constantly analyzing data, anticipating potential hazards, and making split-second decisions to navigate safely. It's like having a highly trained driver who never gets tired or distracted.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it that way. It's not just following pre-programmed routes, it's making decisions in real time based on the environment. It's incredible to think about the level of sophistication involved here. But all this talk of AI driving cars makes me wonder about the human drivers.
Yeah.
What happens to them in this future?
That's the big question, isn't it? Whenever we talk about automation, especially on this scale, the impact on jobs is a major concern.
Yeah, exactly. We could be looking at a future with way fewer truck drivers, taxi drivers, delivery drivers, and those are just a few. It makes you wonder, how do we even begin to prepare for that kind of shift in the job market?
It's not even just about preparing for job losses. It's about recognizing the opportunities that come up alongside these advancements.
Oh.
History shows us that new technologies often create totally new industries and job sectors that we couldn't have even imagined before.
So it's not just about retraining truck drivers to become programmers or whatever. It's about anticipating the jobs that haven't even been invented yet.
Exactly. Think about it. The rise of autonomous vehicles will require a massive workforce, skilled in AI development, software engineering, data analysis, sensor technology.
Right.
And those are just a few areas where we can expect some serious growth.
And we can't forget about the infrastructure needed to support all of this. We'll need people to design, build, and maintain these new transportation systems.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like building a whole new world from scratch.
Absolutely. And as these systems evolve, We'll need people who understand the technology and the complexities of urban planning, logistics, and human behavior
Oh, for sure.
to make sure these systems are integrated, like, seamlessly and safely into our existing infrastructure.
It's a lot to consider,
Yeah,
but it sounds like there's huge potential for incredible innovation and economic growth here.
there is. And it's not just about new jobs. Autonomous vehicles have the potential to make transportation cheaper and more efficient overall. Think about it. Lower fuel costs, less congestion, potentially even cheaper insurance if accidents are less frequent.
And speaking of efficiency, what about the environmental impact? We're all concerned about climate change,
Right.
and transportation is a huge contributor to that.
That's another area where autonomous vehicles could make a real difference. With optimized routes and smoother traffic flow, we could see a big reduction in emissions. Plus, the transition to electric vehicles, which often goes hand in hand with autonomy, further reduces our reliance on fossil fuels.
It's fascinating to see how all of these threads connect, from AI and robotics to sustainability and the future of our cities. But speaking of Elon Musk's vision for the future, we can't forget about his other big venture, humanoid robots.
Ah, yes, the Tesla bot. During that same We Robot event, Musk unveiled his plans for a robot designed to, assist with everyday tasks, from household chores to potentially more complex jobs.
It's one thing to have robots building cars in a factory. It's a whole other thing to imagine them walking around our homes, doing our laundry, making dinner.
Yeah.
It feels like something straight out of science fiction.
It's a bold vision, for sure.
Hmm.
Musk talked about addressing labor shortages and making life easier by automating those mundane or repetitive tasks. Imagine
Yeah.
never having to fold laundry or wash dishes again.
Okay, I have to admit, that part does sound pretty tempting.
Right.
But what about the practicalities? How advanced are these robots, really?
They're still in the early stages of development, but the progress in robotics, AI, and sensor technology is seriously impressive. The Tesla bot is designed to navigate tricky environments, interact with objects, and even learn and adapt to new situations.
It's all very impressive, but I have to admit, the idea of robots becoming so integrated into our daily lives raises some questions. What about safety? And how do we ensure these robots are used responsibly?
Those are very valid concerns. It's super important to have these open and honest discussions about the ethical implications of this tech. As with any powerful tool, it's about making sure it's used for good and that we have safeguards in place.
Absolutely. It feels like we're on the verge of something huge, and it's both exciting and a little daunting at the same time. It's a lot to process. Robo-taxis hitting the streets, humanoid robots potentially making us dinner. Tesla's vision for the future is about way more than just cars.
It is, yeah. What we're seeing is a convergence of technologies,
Mm.
AI, robotics, sustainable energy, all coming together to reshape our world.
It's both exciting and a little overwhelming, right?
Right.
On one hand, you've got these incredible advancements, but then there are the big unknowns. How will this impact jobs, privacy, even our sense of what it means to be human?
Those are exactly the questions we need to be thinking about. It's not enough to just marvel at the tech. We need to shape how it's developed.
So for listeners out there who are eager to dive deeper into this world, what are the key takeaways you'd want them to remember?
Well, first, the future of transportation is being rewritten right now. Autonomous vehicles powered by increasingly sophisticated AI are not a sci-fi fantasy. This is the horizon. They have the potential to revolutionize how we get around, but also how our cities are designed and how we live our lives.
It's not just about the vehicles themselves. The real game changer is the AI. The same AI that has applications far beyond self-driving cars, from automating tasks in countless industries to potentially changing how we manage our homes and our daily routines.
Yeah, exactly. We're in a new era of automation. And while it's exciting, it's super important to be mindful of the potential challenges. We need to be having those conversations about jobs, ethics, and how we make sure this tech benefits all of humanity.
It's a lot to unpack, but that's what we're here for on the deep dive, to help make sense of these complex topics and empower you to engage in the conversations that are shaping our future.
And as you explore the world of autonomous vehicles and AI, here's something to think about. If our cars can learn to drive themselves, what else might they be able to learn? What does that mean for the future of human-machine collaboration?
Now there's something to ponder. A huge thank you to you for joining us today and sharing your insights on this fascinating topic. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of transportation and beyond. Until next time, keep those minds curious.